So it's in purchases, and the amount of money is €460. We received an invoice from A. Jones for 1,200. We sent an invoice to R. Brown, so we must have sold something to him, so we have R. Brown. And we sold him 1,650. We received an invoice from P. Smith, so that's purchases. And that's 600. And we received a credit note from A. Jones. So we got the credit note. Does that mean it's purchase returns or sales returns? Purchase. We must have bought. Okay, so put the name of the person here. So it's A. Jones. And the amount of money is €100. Okay? So that's recording in what they call the books of first entry. I'm just recording the fact that these transactions have happened. Okay. Now, what happens next? So I'm going to have to take those transactions that I've recorded. I will eventually have to do a trial balance the same way as we've done before. Okay? Just to double check. Remember, we do a trial balance to make sure we did do add debit and add credit for every transaction. Okay? So we're now going to go to the ledgers, and I just realized I've left out a ledger here. So I'm just going to copy this and paste this down. So we have, in our books, we have three what they call ledgers. So we have the general, okay, which is also known as the nominal ledger. So that general ledger has all of the T accounts that we would have seen yesterday. So yesterday we had T accounts like wages account, motor expenses, sales account, capital account. All of those would be in the general ledger, okay? And then we have a ledger for all of the people that we are buying and selling from. So I have an Igor account because I'm selling stuff to Igor, and I'm going to put all of the transactions to do with him. So when Igor pays me money, when I sell goods to him, anything to do with Igor owing me more or less is all going to be recorded in the debtor's ledger. So debtor, just to remind you from Junior Cert, a debtor is somebody who owes me money. Creditor, I owe them money. Okay? All right. So my purchases day book, what I'm going to do to do my double entry here, my purchase day book, P. Smith, he's a creditor. I owe him money. So I'm going to have a P. Smith account. Okay. I'm just going to put that in here and put it in the center. So I'm also going to have an account somewhere down here for A. Jones. Okay. Now I'm going to put those transactions into their accounts now. Okay. So P. Smith owes me. I owe P. Smith money. Now, one of the things that you're going to have a look at for homework today, just I'm going to quickly look in our resources. This is something that those of you who may have dealt with me before, the bookkeeping key. All accounts that we have are assets, liabilities, expenses, and incomes. I would advise you have a look at this video. It may help you. But certainly when it comes to doing the next series of exercises, you'll see it. Actually, I might give you the handout on that now. Because basically this is a handout I'm going to put into a piece of homework that you're going to deal with on another day, but you're not dealing with this now. But all accounts that we have are assets, liabilities, expenses, and incomes. An asset is something I have or people owe me. Liability is something I owe them. An expense is a way I use up money on a fairly regular basis. And an income is a way I get money on a regular basis. Okay? Is everyone right with that? When you walk into the Leaving Cert, you're going to write that down in your exam paper at the very, very beginning. You'll use this again and again in all different Leaving Cert questions. Okay, so this bookkeeping key is something I think is vital. So, can you write that on the inside cover of your copybook? Just the key. Just call it the bookkeeping key and write it exactly the way it looks there. So assets, liabilities, expenses, and incomes.
So,
yeah.
Should income not be in debit?
No. the money coming in, so we have an asset, we've got more money, so we have, that's why it's a debit. But why we got the money, that's the credit. Okay? That's how we have to think of it. It'll make more sense now in a second to go through it. Yeah?
Just kind of checking ahead for myself. When I come in here later on for a room, I need to type in air server.
Well, you just need to make sure that's actually on.
Here. Oh, sorry.
If it's not, just go to the start menu and turn it on.
Make sure air server's on, and I should find it no bother.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Everyone has that? Okay. Asset, liability, expense, income. So back to this. Again, you're not writing any of this down. I just want to be able to classify what type of accounts these here are. So a creditor is somebody who I owe money to. Is that an asset, liability, expense, or income? No. I owe P. Smith money. Liability. Okay? Now, according to the bookkeeping key, this is just to get us used to using the bookkeeping key. When you looked at the bookkeeping key, liabilities was in which column? Credit or debit? Credit. Okay? So therefore, the credit side of a liability account is the plus side. So I'm just going to put plus there. Okay? That means I owe that person more money. Is that okay? So that's the plus side. That's how we start using the bookkeeping key. So let's go back up and have a look at this. So P. Smith 460. So I go to the P. Smith account. I owe P. Smith more money because I've bought more goods. I got a bill from him. So I'm going to write in here purchases. And I'll put 460. Is that right? Okay. A. Jones. Oh, that's a different person. So I'll go down to his account. So I'm going to have purchases there. And the amount of money was 1,200. Okay, next transaction. We have P. Smith again, 600. Again, this is a bill. I have a plus because I owe P. Smith more money. So I'm going to put 600 in here. And I'll call it purchases. Is that right? Now, I have done one, every time a transaction takes place, I have done one entry. I'm going to have to do a second entry. So I've done loads of credits here, you can see. So I have to do some debits so that my trial balance will balance. All right, okay? So what I do is I'm going to have to go to the general ledger. And this general ledger is going to have, actually I'm going to just give more lines into it. Now, so I'm going to have, in my general ledger, I'm going to have a purchase account. Okay, so the purchase account is going to have the total figure. So what I'll do is, every month, I'll add up my day book, and it's going to have a total. So everything that's in, all of my purchases, so all the bills that came in, the total for this month is 2260. So I'm going to put 2260 in the purchases account. Not putting every single transaction, I'm just going to put the total of the transactions. So I've done 3 credits so far, and I'm going to do 1 debit to match it. Is that okay? And I should end up with the same total in both. Yes? Okay. So, go back to the bookkeeping key. What type of account is purchases? Okay. Sorry? Just have a look at your bookkeeping key. What type of account is it? Asset, liability, expense, or income? It's an expense. It's a way I use up money. Which side is expense in? Expense is in debit. See it in your bookkeeping key. Okay? So purchases, and I'm just going to put beside that, okay, just to the side of it, I'm going to put expense. It's just so we know. Using the bookkeeping key, the plus side of an expense account was on the debit side. So I have bought more, I've had more expense. So I'm going to have a debit entry in it, and I'm going to call it creditors. I could have put in here P. Smith and A. Jones and have all the different transactions, but I'm just putting the total in. For most businesses, they're doing so much, so many different transactions. It's easier just to put the total at the end of the day. That's what they tend to do. And my total, if I just go back up, where are we now? We are here. No, That one there. Okay? Is everyone okay with that so far? Okay. So I want you to start off. You're going to have a look at the next one, February. And I want you to have a look at create your day books and put the entries into your day books first. Okay? So you get February done. And then we'll look, and I'll show you on the screen what we've got so far. Is that right? Sorry? Yeah, this is on Teams. Okay, it's in classwork in Teams. Or I think it should actually be in your, let me see, it should be in your notebook as well in homework.